discussed. Let's move to the next topic. Very important topic in this chapter, that is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is also called as a food making process in plants. You are all know that plants are the example for the autotrophic mode of nutrition. Why? Because they have a capacity to prepare their own food. But how they have prepared their own food? How they will prepare their own food? That is very important, right? So that food is prepared in the plants by the process called photosynthesis. Okay? By using the process called as photosynthesis, the food is prepared by the plants. How it is takes place? What are the materials are required? I will explain now. See, I drawn the diagram, leaf diagram here. It's a diagram of leaf. Okay. So why I drawn? Why leaf is very important when explaining the photosynthesis process? Means photosynthesis is take place in the leaves itself. That means the food is get prepared in the leaves. Okay. So the preparation of the food is takes place in the leaves. Hence it is called as kitchen of the plant. So which part of the plant is called kitchen of the plant? Leaf. Leaf is called kitchen of the plant body because food is get prepared in the kitchen. Right? In your home also food is prepared in the kitchen, right? Like in plants, the food is prepared in the kitchen. Hence the leaf is called kitchen of the plant. And it is also called food factories. It is called food factory. The food is get synthesized in the leaves. That's why it is also called food factories. Okay, understood? Next we shall discuss what are the important materials are required for the photosynthesis process. So what is the definition of photosynthesis? It is a process of making food by using carbon dioxide, sunlight, air, water and chlorophyll. Okay, and the food is get synthesized. This process is called as photosynthesis. Okay, so now we will write raw materials required for the photosynthesis. Which are the raw materials required? Raw materials required. Required for photosynthesis. So which are the raw materials required? I will write one by one. Required carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide. So where the plants will get the carbon dioxide? Through us. We will respire, we will remove the carbon dioxide outside and take the oxygen inside. So carbon dioxide and sunlight, water, chemical formula is H2O, water, chlorophyll. So these materials are required for the photosynthesis process. For the photosynthesis process, the materials required are carbon dioxide, sunlight, water, chlorophyll. So sunlight is through the atmosphere only they will get the sunlight to the sun. Carbon dioxide is removed by the So carbon dioxide, it is released by the organisms including us. We will remove the carbon dioxide outside and sunlight is utilized to the sun. Then water is present in the vapor, water vapor is present in the atmosphere. Chlorophyll. This chlorophyll is present in the leaves. Okay. So where does the chlorophyll is present? Chlorophyll is present on the leaves. Okay. So how does this carbon dioxide get utilized by the plants? With the help of structures called stomata. With the help of structures called stomata. Okay, where does this stomata are present? Stomata are present on the leaves. Okay, structures. The bean-shaped structures present on the surface of the leaves are called as stomata. These stomata contains the God cells. These are called God cells. God cells. These are stomata spores. Stomatal spores. These spores are exchanging the CO2. So like this preparation is done. This kind of preparation is done for the photosynthesis process. So next I will explain. After the photosynthesis process, what is the product obtained? How to write the equation for the photosynthesis process? So I will tell. So this much you understood when you people like. So I will explain once again. Photosynthesis. It is also called food making process in plants. Okay. And leaf is called kitchen of the plant because the food is prepared inside it. Then raw materials required for the photosynthesis are carbon dioxide, sunlight, water, chlorophyll. The structure of stomata, these are the stomatas are present on the surface of the leaves. Okay, these are the bean-shaped structures containing God cells and pores. Pores are able to exchange of carbon dioxide. So these are the processes that are required for the photosynthesis process. Next, after the photosynthesis process, what are the product obtained? How the food is prepared? Food is stored in which form? We will discuss. Now we will see how the food is prepared in photosynthesis. What is the product obtained during the photosynthesis? Till now we have discussed about how the leaves are helps in the photosynthesis process, why they are called as the kitchen of the plant body, and all those things we have discussed now. Now we will discuss product obtained during photosynthesis. Okay, product obtained during photosynthesis. Here you can observe the two words. We can split it into two words. Photo means light and synthesis means prepare. In the sense, photosynthesis is the process takes place during the light. It helps the synthesis of food. Understood? So what are the products are obtained during the photosynthesis? See, during the photosynthesis, what are the products are obtained? No, that photosynthesis process can be written in the word form and as well as the equation form. Now I will write the first one, word form. How to write in words? So what are the products are obtained during the photosynthesis? First one, carbon dioxide. When carbon dioxide plus water, carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So what is the chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is the green color pigment present in the leaves. Leaves is green color due to presence of pigment called chlorophyll. Understood? So during the photosynthesis, carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, food is get prepared. That food is stored in the form of starch plus oxygen is released. Okay. So what are the products are obtained during the photosynthesis? Starch, food plus oxygen. Remember, carbon dioxide are released by the other organisms including the human beings, right? So during our respiration process, we will intake the oxygen and remove the carbon dioxide. Plants will intake the carbon dioxide and they give back the oxygen. What we are breathing oxygen, right? That is released by the plants. During which process? During photosynthesis process. Understood? So during photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and water with the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, which results in the formation of food. That food is stored in the form of starch and oxygen is released. Now I will write the chemical equation. This is the word form. Next, chemical equation. Carbon dioxide chemical formula is CO2 plus water formula is H2O. In the present, this remains same. Okay. Sunlight takes place especially in leaves. Okay, it takes place in leaves itself. Leaves is called the kitchen of the plant because food is prepared in the leaves. It is also called food factories. Okay, it is green in color due to presence of chlorophyll. Okay, in the presence of carbon dioxide and water, with the help of carbon dioxide, water, in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, food is prepared in the leaves and the oxygen is released. This process is called photosynthesis. Clear? Okay. And how does the oxygen is, or the carbon dioxide exchange is taking? How the plants will get the carbon dioxide? Through the stomata. Okay. So where does this stomata is present? They are present on the surface. The main pores are present on the surface of the leaves are called stomata. These stomata helps in the exchange of carbon dioxide. They help in the exchange of carbon dioxide. Okay. So like this, the photosynthesis process takes place in leaves and the food preparation takes place. Hence, they are called as autotrophic. Clear? In the next class, we will discuss food. Only one part is left in this chapter, that is how the nutrients are replenished in the soil. So we are using more and more the soil for growing crops, but how the nutrients are retained in the soil for the more time or long time, that we will discuss in the next class. Thank you. Students, next we will discuss the topic how the nutrients are replenished in the soil.
Dear students, our last topic of this chapter is how nutrients are replenished in the soil. In the sense, the nutrients are present in the soil is get utilized by the plants for their growth. So after the growth, how the nutrients are again enriched in the soil. So from this topic we will understand how the nutrients are re-enriched in the soil. Okay. See, in this slide you can observe nutrition in plants. The plants continuously take the nutrients from the soil in order to synthesize the food. You know that the plants have a capacity to prepare the food. How they will prepare the food? By the utilization of the nutrients present in the soil. Okay. After the growth of the nutrients, after the growth of the plants, what happens? As a result of this amount of nutrients in the soil decreases. Okay, after the utilization of the water, minerals and enriched nutrients present in the soil, after the utilization of the plant body, what happens? It becomes decreases in the soil, isn't it? Okay, after the utilization of every kind of nutrients present in the soil, the nutrients present in the soil is become decreases. So which are the main nutrients are present in the plants? Major nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, iron, copper, zinc, magnesium. Nitrogen is represented by the symbol N, phosphorus represented by the P, potassium represented by K, calcium represented by Ca, iron represented by Fe, copper represented by Cu, zinc, Zn, magnesium, Mg. So these are all nutrients which are present in the soil. It is get utilized by the plants for their growth. So after the utilization of the plant body, these become decreases in the soil. So next, how the nutrients are replenishment, how the replenishment takes place in the soil, that is very important, right? So after the utilization of the nutrient, what happens? Let us discuss now. Replenishment is the process by which something is made full or complete again. So in order to fulfill the decreases of the nutrients in the soil, we have to do certain process to rebuild the nutrients in the soil. So we have to re-enrich the soil. So how we can do this? Here the depleted soil nutrients are added back to them, maintain the soil fertility. Otherwise the soil become infertile. If the plants has to grow in the soil, means it should be contain all the nutrients, right? Usually plants need a lot of nitrogen to make the protein. Okay, the plants need one of the important mineral, that is nitrogen. Okay, it is very important. So how it can be replenished? By adding the fertilizers. Fertilizers such as urea, ammonium nitrate, ammonium sulfate are added to the soil. By using this method, we can enrich the soil with the nutrients. Okay, this is one of the method by adding the fertilizers. Next method, by adding the manures. Manure or the decomposed organic matter which are rich in plant nutrients. Organic manure means it is produced by the decaying matters, cow dung, okay, and vegetable waste. So this is helps in the formation of organic matter. So these organic matters, by adding the organic matters also, we can enrich the soil with the nutrients. Understood? Next method, by the crop rotation method. Crop rotation is the practice of growing a series of different plants of crops in the same area in the sequenced seasons. That means, for example, in this season, in the rainy season, if you have grown the maize crops, means in the next season, in the same land, you have to grow the another crop. So, like this, one year, one type of crop, other year, another type of crop. So, such a practice helps in re-enriching the soil or maintaining the soil fertility. Okay, so by the crop rotation method also, we can make the soil fertile. Okay, so next, leguminous. So, leguminous crops is replenishing nutrients in the soil. So crop rotation method you understood now. Next method is leguminous crops in the replenishing nutrients in the soil. That means leguminous plants are also helps in increasing the fertility of the soil. Okay, how it can be increased? These plants and bacteria live in the symbiotic relationship. In the 7th standard, you people are heard about the symbiotic relationship. Sorry, in the 6th standard. Okay, in the 6th standard you are heard about the symbiotic relationship. Not only in 6th standard, in the 7th also, in the heterotopic type of nutrition, you are heard about the symbiotic relationship, right? So leguminous plants are very important in this, exhibit the important thing, that is the symbiotic relationship. The plants can absorb the atmospheric nitrogen in the gaseous form. Okay, rhizobium cannot make its own food. Okay, that's why what the leguminous plants will do means, leguminous plants have a root nodules in their roots, and these root nodules are serves as a shelter houses for the nitrogen fixing bacteria. It means, see, some of the plants like leguminous plants don't have a capacity to get the atmospheric nitrogen easily. So that's why in its root nodules some kind of bacteria called rhizobium bacteria it lives. Okay, here both the plants are get mutually benefited. So these bacteria are helps in fixing the nitrogen to the plants. So in this way also, by growing the leguminous plants also, we can retain the nutrients in the soil. Okay, rhizobium is an example for the nitrogen fixing bacteria. They will ask the question, so which bacteria helps in the nitrogen fixation? That is, example is rhizobium bacteria. Okay, next, leguminous crops in replenishing nutrients in the soil. See, you can, in this diagram you can observe symbiotic relationship between the plants and rhizobium bacteria. This also helps in enriching the soil with nutrients. Okay, so we will conclude this topic with, so from this topic you are understood that use of nutrients by the plant, replenishment of the nutrients in the soil, methods of replenishment of nutrients in the soil. So this will complete the first lesson. Okay, I will give the notes later. Thank you.